Don't believe this common myth. Many people think that true happiness and peace come from external success, material possessions, or the approval of others. But the reality is far different. If you want to cultivate a strong, resilient mind and navigate life's challenges with grace, it starts from within. It's not about chasing what's outside, it's about mastering your inner world. In this video, we'll explore how letting go of external opinions, building emotional resilience, and transforming your perception can unlock the true mental strength you've always had inside. Along the way, we'll also dive into how embracing change and practicing self-discipline are key to not just surviving, but thriving in the ever-changing flow of life. By the end, you'll have the tools to navigate life with clarity, strength, and peace. Let's get started. Number 1, let go of external opinions. Focus on your inner mind. There's a certain joy we all experience when we're truly ourselves, laughing freely, being honest about our passions, and connecting with others in a way that feels genuine. It's that feeling of being accepted and understood, not because you've met someone else's expectations, but because you're showing up as your most authentic self. Think of the last time you had a conversation with a close friend, one where you didn't have to overthink your words or worry about how you were being perceived. It's liberating, isn't it? That sense of freedom, of being comfortable in your own skin, is a taste of what life can be like when we let go of external opinions and focus on what truly matters, our inner mind. However, as life progresses, that simplicity gets clouded. We become more conscious of how others perceive us, family, friends, co-workers, even strangers on social media. This need for approval can slowly take over, guiding our decisions, altering our behavior, and shaping our beliefs. We begin to second-guess ourselves, wondering if we're saying the right thing, dressing the right way, or living up to expectations set by others. The problem with this approach is that it robs us of our inner peace and personal growth. Instead of listening to our inner voice, we're stuck in a cycle of seeking validation, constantly worrying about how we're perceived. This is where the concept of letting go of external opinions becomes crucial. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we can only control our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. Nothing more. What others think of us, say about us, or expect from us is entirely outside of our control. When we place too much importance on external opinions, we give away our power. Instead of letting our inner mind guide us, we allow the world around us to dictate who we should be. But what if we stopped giving so much weight to what others thought and started trusting ourselves more? How much more peaceful, how much more joyful could life become? Take a moment to reflect on your childhood. Remember a time when you weren't so concerned with what others thought of you. Maybe it was riding your bike in the summer sun or making up stories with your friends, totally immersed in your imagination. Back then, you didn't need permission to be yourself. You just were. There was a purity in that freedom, a joy in living for yourself, unburdened by the opinions of others. Over time, societal pressures and expectations crept in, dimming that light of authenticity. But what if you could reignite that flame? What if you could return to that inner freedom, letting go of the need to conform and embracing the wisdom that comes from within? Curiosity drives us to explore our potential. What happens when we start tuning out the noise of external opinions and focus on what truly matters to us? What decisions would we make differently? How would our relationships, careers, and personal goals evolve if we allowed ourselves the freedom to be authentic? Imagine the possibilities when you learn to trust your inner voice. When you shift from living for others to living for yourself, you unlock a world of potential, a world where peace and self-awareness become your guides. Number 2, cultivate emotional resilience, turning trials into strength. Think about the last time you faced a difficult situation. It could be something as personal as heartbreak, losing a job, or navigating a health crisis. Initially, you might have felt overwhelmed, perhaps even defeated. But eventually, there's a moment when you find strength you didn't know you had. It's that shift from feeling like life is happening to you to realizing that you have the power to endure and even grow from these challenges. That moment, the one where resilience takes over, is a testament to the incredible strength we all have within us. Life is filled with ups and downs, and we all know the happiness that comes from experiencing success or achieving a goal. But the true test of character isn't how we act when everything is going well. It's how we respond when things go wrong. Emotional resilience isn't about avoiding pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing difficulties head-on and knowing that no matter how tough things get, you have the inner strength to rise above them. The Stoics believed that suffering and hardship were essential parts of life, but instead of avoiding these experiences, they saw them as opportunities for growth. When life throws you a curveball, it's easy to crumble under the weight of frustration, fear, or sadness. But what if you could use these moments to cultivate resilience? What if each trial you faced became a stepping stone to something greater? Emotional resilience is not just about surviving life's difficulties, it's about thriving because of them. Now let's journey back to a time in your life when you encountered a hardship. Maybe it was when you were younger, during a period where you struggled with self-doubt or faced a major setback. You might have felt lost at that time, unsure of how to move forward. But looking back now, you can see how that experience shaped you. Perhaps it made you stronger, more compassionate, or more determined. That period of pain and uncertainty transformed you, helping you build resilience in ways you may not have realized in the moment. Think about how different your life would be if you never faced adversity. Would you still be the same person you are today? The truth is, the trials we face in life shape us in ways that comfort never could. They force us to dig deep, to develop a kind of inner strength that can't be found when things are easy. And while it's normal to wish for a life without hardship, imagine how much growth you'd miss out on if everything came easy. Curiosity about resilience often leads us to wonder, what are we truly capable of? How much more strength, patience, and wisdom can we cultivate by facing life's challenges instead of running from them? Emotional resilience teaches us that every setback, every heartache, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. How different would your life look if you embraced every challenge as a tool for building your inner strength? Number 3, harness the power of perception. Transform stumbles into stepping stones. We all have moments where life feels magical, everything falls into place, and it's as if the universe is conspiring in our favor. During these times, it's easy to stay positive, to see the beauty in every experience and opportunity. But what about when things don't go as planned? When we stumble, when we fail, when life throws unexpected challenges our way? How do we maintain that same positive outlook? The answer lies in the power of perception. It's not what happens to us that defines our lives, it's how we perceive those events. Two people can experience the same situation, let's say a job loss or a relationship breakup, and have entirely different reactions. One person might see it as the end of the world, while the other sees it as an opportunity for a fresh start. What's the difference between them? Their perception. Stoicism teaches us that our perception is one of the few things we can control, and by changing the way we see the world, we can transform even the most difficult experiences into something meaningful. Think of a time when you faced a major setback. Maybe you missed out on a big opportunity or made a mistake that had serious consequences. In the moment, it probably felt overwhelming, maybe even hopeless. But now, looking back, you might realize that this stumble was actually a stepping stone to something greater. Perhaps that missed opportunity led you down a path you wouldn't have explored otherwise. Maybe that mistake taught you a valuable lesson that you've carried with you ever since. When we change the way we perceive our failures and stumbles, we can start to see them for what they truly are: opportunities for growth. Life is full of setbacks, but each one gives us a chance to learn, to adapt, and to improve. Instead of seeing failure as a sign of defeat, what if we started to see it as part of the process of becoming better versions of ourselves? Curiosity around perception leads us to wonder, how much more resilient, adaptable, and creative could we become if we learned to shift our perspective in real time? Instead of letting stumbles hold us back, we could use them as fuel to move forward. The power of perception isn't just about seeing the silver lining, it's about realizing that we have the ability to turn every obstacle into a stepping stone towards success. Imagine how much more confident and empowered you'd feel if you knew that no matter what life throws your way, your perception has the power to turn it into an opportunity for growth. Number 4. Live in harmony with nature. Embrace change and uncertainty. Think about a time when everything in your life seemed to flow effortlessly, when you felt in tune with the world around you. Whether it was walking in a park on a warm summer day, listening to the rustling leaves, or watching a sunset melt into the horizon, there's a natural peace that comes when we're in sync with nature. In those moments, you realize that life, in its simplest form, is beautiful. It's easy to feel connected and whole when you're experiencing the world at its best. But life, just like nature, is unpredictable. As seasons change, so do circumstances. The once serene, sunny day can quickly turn stormy, just as our lives can shift without warning. Relationships evolve, careers take unexpected turns, and our health can fluctuate. This constant change can feel unsettling, even frightening at times. Yet the Stoics believed that living in harmony with nature means embracing this change and uncertainty, recognizing that it is the natural rhythm of life. When we resist change, we create unnecessary suffering. We long for things to stay the same, whether it's a stable job, a relationship, or a particular stage of life. But clinging to the past or fearing the future only creates inner turmoil. Just as we can't control the changing seasons, we can't stop life from evolving. However, we can choose how we respond to these changes. By accepting uncertainty as a natural part of existence, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Cast your mind back to a time when life threw you an unexpected curveball. Perhaps it was a sudden change in your career, the end of a significant relationship, or a move to a new city. In the moment, that change likely felt overwhelming, even scary. But as time passed, you adapted. You found new opportunities, made new connections, and grew in ways you hadn't imagined. Looking back, you may realize that this period of uncertainty was not only inevitable, but necessary for your personal growth. The truth is, just like nature itself, our lives are meant to evolve. Seasons come and go, and with each one, we are given the opportunity to grow and transform. The autumn leaves falling from the trees make way for new growth in the spring. In the same way, the changes and challenges we face create space for new experiences and perspectives. Curiosity compels us to explore how we can live more harmoniously with the ebb and flow of life. What if, instead of fearing change, we embraced it? How much more peaceful would we feel if we accepted uncertainty as a natural part of the human experience? Living in harmony with nature isn't about trying to control the uncontrollable. It's about learning to dance with the rhythm of life, to bend with the wind, and to grow in the face of adversity. Number 5, practice self-discipline, the path to true mental mastery. Imagine the joy that comes from achieving a long-term goal, whether it's finishing a project, reaching a fitness milestone, or mastering a new skill. That feeling of accomplishment, knowing that you've put in the time and effort to achieve something meaningful, is incredibly fulfilling. It's the kind of happiness that isn't fleeting, but rooted in the deep satisfaction of having stayed committed to your vision. But behind that joy is something far more powerful: self-discipline. Without it, those goals would remain just out of reach, dreams that never quite materialize. Self-discipline is the ability to stay the course, even when the path gets difficult or distractions tempt you away from your goals. It's the mental fortitude to say no to instant gratification in favor of long-term success. But it's more than just a tool for achieving external goals. It's the foundation for mental mastery. When you practice self-discipline, you're training your mind to be stronger, more focused, and less reactive. You're taking control of your thoughts and actions rather than letting outside influences dictate your choices. The Stoics believed that self-discipline was essential for living a virtuous life. It's not about denying yourself pleasures or living a joyless existence. Rather, it's about cultivating the inner strength to stay true to your values and priorities, even when it's hard. In a world full of distractions, social media, constant entertainment, and endless options, it's easy to lose focus. But practicing self-discipline allows you to rise above those distractions and stay aligned with what truly matters to you. Think back to a time in your life when you practiced discipline. Whether it was sticking to a workout routine, saving money for something important, or staying focused on a challenging task. At the time, it might have felt difficult, even frustrating, to stay committed. But when you look back on it now, you likely feel a sense of pride. That discipline not only helped you achieve a specific goal, but it also strengthened your character. It taught you that you're capable of more than you think, that you can persevere even when the going gets tough. Curiosity leads us to ask, what could we achieve if we practiced more self-discipline in our daily lives? How much more could we grow, both mentally and emotionally, by mastering our impulses and staying focused on our long-term goals? Self-discipline isn't just about what we accomplish, it's about who we become in the process. By practicing self-discipline, we're not only shaping our future, but also mastering our minds, one small choice at a time. Self-discipline is the key to mental mastery. It's the path that leads to greater focus, inner strength, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Imagine how much more peaceful, productive, and purposeful your life could become if you fully embrace the power of self-discipline. As we wrap up, remember that mastering your inner world is the foundation of living a life full of peace and resilience. Letting go of external opinions, building emotional strength, and reshaping how you see challenges are key steps toward true mental mastery. The journey might not always be easy, but with self-discipline and a willingness to embrace change, you'll find strength you never knew you had. If you've made it this far, drop 100 in the comments. It shows that you're part of the rare 0.01% who truly commit to finishing what they start. And if you're serious about transforming your life and mindset, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to explore, and you're just getting started on the path to unlocking your full potential.